This is Keith for the Tape. I'm your host as always. Glad you're here. Join in that conversation using the hashtag right above here. Tape here on Connect. Glad you're here on this Thursday, January 31st. Man, one more week and I'll be, you know what, the big 3-0. Yeah, that's a big accomplishment for me. I don't even look like I'm finna be, that age. Man, that's weird. But anyway, let's get started with the big story. The big story this week is, man, there has been some catchy trend, a catchy beat. Sometimes people may think it's annoying. Some think it's catchy. But this could go across all spectrums. From if you're young, old, or in between, you must like this.
Baby shark, do-do-do-do-do, baby shark, do-do-do-do-do, baby shark. Mommy shark, do-do-do-do-do, mommy shark, do-do-do-do-do, mommy shark, do-do-do-do-do, mommy shark.
Daddy shark, do-do-do-do-do, daddy shark, do-do-do-do-do, daddy shark, do-do-do-do-do, daddy shark.
Grandma shark, do-do-do-do-do, grandma shark, do-do-do-do-do, grandma shark, do-do-do-do-do, grandma shark.
Grandpa shark, do-do-do-do-do, grandpa shark, do-do-do-do-do, grandpa shark, do-do-do-do-do, grandpa shark. Let's go hunt, do-do-do-do-do, let's go hunt, do-do-do-do-do, let's go hunt, do-do-do-do-do, let's go hunt.
Run away, do-do-do-do-do, run away, do-do-do-do-do, run away, do-do-do-do-do, run away. Safe at last, do-do-do-do-do, safe at last, do-do-do-do-do, safe at last, do-do-do-do-do, safe at last. It's the end, do-do-do-do-do, it's the end, do-do-do-do-do, it's the end, do-do-do-do-do, it's the end.
Baby Shark. Yes, Baby Shark. Whoever thought a children's song, Baby Shark, that's been in the making for about 3 years, can catch fire like that and be in the Billboard Top 100 at number 32, surpassing Lady Gaga music with Star Born. That's crazy. But if you won't believe me, look at this with Baby Shark in the club. Yes, you can see right here, the black club. Everywhere, everyone's talking about Baby Shark. Everyone, even children parties, we get that. But at a club, the club playing Baby Shark, man, you must be doing something right. It's so catchy. You got the baby, the mama, the daddy, the grandparents. Man, it's just a catchy beat. Believe me, it's just more ways to come. I'll tell you that. All right. Also on the other news, the government shutdown is over. Yes, after 1 month of both sides never giving up. And guess who the one that caved in? Watch this.
Yeah, people don't realize I'm thinking about cheeseburger. Yeah, or the government wall, or Taco Bell, one of the two. But hey, anyway, I want a wall to be built in America on the south southern border. We don't need illegal immigrants coming over here telling us what to do. We tell them what to do. No matter what, we don't give them the path for citizenship. I blame Nancy, Chuck, and all of them. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
President Trump proudly stood there and said these words.
We really have no choice but to build a powerful wall or steel barrier. If we don't get a fair deal from Congress, the government will either shut down on February 15th again, or I will use the powers afforded to me under the laws and the Constitution of the United States to address this emergency.
I think now he just wanted to stop the pain, stop the drama from holding the American people back from hostage, from not receiving their paycheck. And he's just like, you know what? I have to regroup and go back to the drawing board again. That's what you have to do. You have to do things like that to go back and redraw. Because I can say this, Nancy Pelosi won the battle, but Trump looks at it like she didn't win the war. So look at it like this. She held his State of the Union address saying you can't do the State of the Union address. He agreed, but he said, you know what? Okay, I cave in, get to your demands, but when it comes back around again, because the government will be open there for 3 weeks, and then what's going to happen again? It just keeps being like a chess game. Every time, it's like a chess game. You can see it and you can feel it and stuff like that. I just don't know how this going to transpire. Well, we have to just see. All right, in celebrity news, sex symbol Pamela Anderson was the topic of discussion on Dish Nation when the crew debated whether Anderson claims men are losing their luster due to porn in PlayStation. Watch this.
A little bit and talk about Pamela Anderson. We haven't talked about her in a long time, but we're talking about her now because she believes that we've lost a lot of good men to porn and PlayStation. In a series of random tweets, the former Baywatch babe wrote, "Empty head disease, porn and PlayStation. We've lost many good men to this. Gone, no return." And then she went on to tweet more and said, "The worst lovers watch porn. Numb, desensitized, needing more and more variety, even violent. Porn is not what love looks like. Brave, radical men who read and who are engaged in the world are sexy. Vegans make the best lovers. It's proven."
Oh, come on, Pamela. Seriously, you were my porn and I was my PlayStation.
You wore that joystick out.
Okay.
Well, she's right about one thing. Vegans do have the best sex.
How vegan have the best sex?
Because, like, your body is so pure and your senses are so
I don't know about that. If you're a guy, don't you want a girl who's a meat eater? You know what I'm saying?
No. And vegans, it's different.
When I was a vegan.
You just killing that burger I just saw you eat.
Gary, you eat pig feet and chitlins. Would you say your sex is less better than a vegan?
I think my sex is great, though, but I think porn is real bad for men, though. Men should not watch porn because they have expectations. They want you to turn flips and do all these different things, and you can't open your legs like that, like they be doing in the movies.
What men are y'all talking about? Most men are just happy to, get them a piece.
And all that sloppy noise, that's not real.
I watch it on mute. Let Lifetime play in the background.
A lot of people need the sounds, Portia. A lot of people need the sound.
Really?
Yeah,
That's part of it.
I didn't know to turn it down.
That means Portia's a breath holder.
Yeah.
Can't nobody hold their breath at the end. Right. I don't know what you talking about. But we be gasping for air. Talk about
we can't debate about it, but we can talk about it. Pamela Anderson may have a point, but then you don't never know because you don't know different households and you don't know how these households work. Number time, if you grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s, you kind of still playing video games and having a girlfriend on the side. So it's technically she's talking about, but at the same time, when did she ever find a real marriage? Let's be for real. Let's be for real on that. All right. Speaking of that, Real Housewives of New Jersey star Teresa Giudice, known for like flipping tables and stuff, has a new hobby, and she's doing this.
Teresa Giudice flaunts her incredible abs of steel on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. The 46-year-old mom of four sizzled in a tiny purple bikini as she showed off her toned arms and muscular legs. When she turned around, she left little to the imagination.
I worked hard to get my body into the best shape that it's ever been.
The reality TV star began working out 3 times a day when she was sent to prison for bankruptcy fraud in 2015. She took 3rd place in the women over 40 category. That's one buff housewife.
Giudice is just doing this, getting into the way and pumping iron as she goes left and right. You know she loves pumping iron. She loves it. She loves it. She's addicted to it. It's just something that keeps Teresa going. And then there was also rumors, reports, if her husband gets deported, she's going to end up divorcing. So Teresa just trying to find a new hobby and a new career. Good for her. All right. In other news, Taraji P. Henson receives a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Cookie Lion received a star. All that hard work. Let's see what Cookie had to say. Cookie Lion receiving a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I'm trying to get some crumbs. Good for you, Taraji. A lot of cookies. It's like a mukbang challenge. Cookie Lion. Good for you, Cookie. Good for you. Also, all right. Let's move over to the reality show clip down. All right, on Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother, singer Tamar Braxton and Olympic athlete Lolo Jones got in a heated argument that you wouldn't even suspect was going to turn the ugly. Watch this.
Let me tell you what happened, and then you snap off on me. I didn't snap. Don't start. No, I'm gonna start because you asked me what, and then you pop off. So why would I not get mad at you? You do this every day. Like, don't start with me. What you need to do is calm down. What you need to do is calm down and stop popping off like making this room a nightmare. Got the room then. No, right here. Because I'm telling you right now, I've always had your back, but I can't take this every day. I have my back. You don't have to have my back. I'm a big girl. Bitch. Well, then let's... Bitch. Can you say bitch? Right here. I'm right here. I'm right here.
Let the Big Brother be America's newest session, newest guilty pleasure. Those celebrities from Joey Lawrence, Candy Burris, Ryan Lochte, it's just a political game. Just figure out who's the strongest and who's the weakest, week after week. So, yeah, Tamar Braxton, when I'm watching the show, it's just like she pops off for no apparent reason after Lolo was trying to tell her, hey, I'm trying to give you some trade secrets. What's going on? And you going on here popping off on me. You know, I can get what Lolo's saying because that's what people do. People just don't take into consideration and just go ahead and just process the information and just go from there. Tamar just had to act so dramatic because CBS looking for a ratings goal and they found one in Tamar Braxton. Telling you now. All right. On talk shows this week. Current Starbucks CEO Howard Shurt appeared on The View and talked about his reasons or why he wanted to run for president. But the ladies schooled him on how the difference between pop business and politics. Watch this.
Bloomberg had said to you, don't run. And he was thinking of running, but then he did the research and he found out he couldn't win, so he got out of the race. The main thing, and I said it yesterday, that scares me, is that your entry into this race will guarantee Trump another 4 years. And we cannot have that. You talk about the Democrats not wanting to negotiate. They cannot negotiate with a toddler. If you give him the cookie one day, the next day he wants another cookie. So that's not equal on both sides. They had to play tough, the Democrats, with him. Otherwise, he will run amok. Now, your entry into the race pretty much guarantees that a Republican is going to win.
Joy,
and I know
I don't agree with you.
I know you don't.
I don't agree with
you.
In fact, not only do I not agree with you, but I think if President Trump runs against a far-left, progressive, liberal Democrat.
What if he runs against Biden? Biden's the middle of the road
Biden hasn't come into the race yet. But let's finish. If he runs against a far-left, progressive person who is suggesting 60, 70% tax increases on the rich and a healthcare system that we can't pay for, President Trump is going to get reelected. All I'm saying is, let me go out to the country and let the people hear my story. I grew up in the projects of Brooklyn. I gave my company comprehensive health insurance, equity in the form of stock options, free college tuition for every employee, and I figured out.
You can't do that with the country.
Well, you can.
No, listen. No. Because this is the same problem you know who has. When you when you own your company, you can make these changes as you want them to be. Right. When you have to report to the Senate and the Congress and all the 50 million people that come in the middle, that's a little bit different. And so you know, my big problem is I want people to stand up for what they believe in. And I think you're saying to people, I don't think you'll hear me unless I speak to you as an independent. I think if you believe in what you believe in, then stand up for that as a Democrat and then change the party if you feel like that, as opposed to going elsewhere. That was what I wanted to finish.
In politics, indeed, like with the government. You know, coming from the business side, Howard Schultz built Starbucks up to become the company it is today. It's totally different. That's like Donald Trump doing. He went and took real estate and took the Trump organization to new heights. Some people say that the heights wasn't too keen with the bankruptcies and stuff, but Trump protected himself with the bankruptcies. But because Schultz do that, it's the same thing, because he used that same business model as Trump doing. Hey, I can turn a business into a landmine and take the government and turn it to a landmine. Let's see. But he was a spectacle on that. But that didn't end there. As the ladies asked him what he felt, what he thought when President Trump felt about him getting into the race and making a challenge to him as a candidate. Because President Trump said he will make a bad candidate. But then President Trump throw more shots at him, saying that, oh man, you sent a Twitter message to send all that, saying that the man doesn't pay his rent at Trump Tower. How you know all this information? You president, you're supposed to be recusing yourself from your own organization. You know what? If the man knows what he knows, he might know something. I believe me. I tell you what, he knows something. All right. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more Tay after this break. Stay tuned. I'm your host, always Tim Dixon. Join in that conversation right here using the hashtag Take here on Connect. You don't want to miss it. Subscribe, follow, like, share here on Connect. If you like the show, yeah, leave a comment if you want to, if you can. If you know, tell us what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. We'll take that under consideration. Believe me. All right, let's get to the political rundown. Political rundown this week. It's always something about Trump on the political rundown every week with somebody or our associate. Former Trump aide or advocate Roger Stone had a good day and a bad day rolled into one with this.
If you were convicted, you think the president held pardon you?
Pardon me?
If you were convicted, you think the president would pardon you?
The only person I've advocated a pardon for is Marcus Garvey.
Started his day being raided by the FBI, then had to get released from jail from post bond, and then he appeared on CNN to tell his side of the story. Watch this.
You say you won't bear false witness against President Trump. Are you prepared to tell the truth about your dealings with him to the special counsel, the truth about your dealings with the campaign? Any chance you'll cooperate with special counsel Robert Mueller if he asks?
That's a question I'd have to determine after my attorneys have some discussion. If there's wrongdoing by other people in the campaign that I know about, which I know of none, but if there is, I would certainly testify honestly. I'd also testify honestly about any other matter, including any communications with the president. It's true that we spoke on the phone, but those communications are political in nature. They're benign, and there is certainly no conspiracy with Russia. President's right. There is no Russian collusion.
You had the one. Roger Stone knew what was going to go happen before the day ends, say, hey, Roger, just know what you're going to do. And, you know, whole day going to be. But Roger Stone is a lobbyist and a Nixon supporter. And he has a weird obsession with Nixon. Like, he has Nixon on his back. He has Nixon in his door. A portrait of Nixon. This man is just a Nixonite. You gotta think about that. Dude, have everyone thought about that? All right. It's weird, but that's his own fantasy and deception. All right. Speaking of that, Senator Kamala Harris held a rally for her bid for president, a formal rally. And she said this about people who do not believe in her chances of winning.
Because you see, in our system of justice, we believe that a harm against any one of us is a harm against all of us. That is why when a case is filed, it doesn't read the name of the victim, it reads the people. And this is a point I have often explained to console and counsel survivors of crime, people who faced great harm, often at the hands of someone they trust, be it a relative or a bank or a big corporation. I would remind them, you are not invisible. We all stand together because that is the power of the people. In my whole life, I've only had one client, the people.
Harris stood there proudly saying that she wants to run. She wants to be the first African-American woman to be elected president. And she can do so. But then there's been some news circulation with this.
Let me tell you, 8, 9 different folk from the world of the media had called to ask me, we saw your picture here, you were in the LA Times, you were at the Academy Awards, and each time it was you and Kamala Harris, who is now married to someone and whom you clearly must have had some relationship with. So, of course, I dated Miss Harris 25, 30 years ago. So what? What does that got to do with anything? It's, well, you know.
All right. Sometimes politics come good, sometimes come bad, and your past can hunt you in the way. Well, Kamala Harris had this man named Willie Brown, who was mayor of the assembly, and he said that Kamala made a comment and he didn't like it. He wanted to speak upon it. Mr. Brown, I know you're trying to get there ahead of the story, but you know, whatever happened in the past happened. So, come on now. Just be a little bit more original and stuff. For real. All right. In news of this week, a dad tries to warm up his son with this. Father and son in dress like Disney carried the Elsa from Frozen. Wow, we come a long way. I guess we have to, you know, to each his own. You know, we live in a world where you can expect the unexpected. Indeed. Indeed. All right. On the viral video of the week, the most epic thing happened. The NBA released a clip posting these two young boys in a dance-off. And you won't believe how this all came about. Watch this.
Shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer.
heard that Gloria Stefan music, they just started doing the combo and just started dancing. Can we take a look at that one more time? Lord, look at this. Little boy just knew what to do. He had the rhythm. Even big boy had the rhythm too. he just knew. You can just tell right there. Hey, more ways than one. These two boys are gonna be stars. And one day the NBA took advantage and saw that and just said, go for it. You know how they do with the kiss cam and stuff like that, but they said dance cam. We see this going on. Clip back, clip back, clip back, clip back. You know how I go. You know how we go. All right, everyone. Thank you all for watching this week's take. I'm glad you're here to join us. We'll see you next week on a special edition of the take. And I'll tell you what throughout the next week. See you later.